All right, so today I'm going to walk you through the way that I shot this photo and turned it into this. Let's get into it right away. If you don't know, my name is Josh. I am a professional photographer, cinematographer, YouTuber, and just all around good guy. If you don't yet, please follow me or think about following me if you find this interesting. Otherwise, this is a snippet of what you get when you join my Patreon page. I do a full class teaching tips and tricks, tutorials, walkthroughs, and I do a bunch of giveaways on my Patreon on how to become a full-time photographer, how to take your skills from amateur to pro and even beyond, and run your own photography business if that's something you're into. But I teach all sorts of tips, tricks, behind the scenes, and what you're going to see today is going to be a sample of what one of my classes that I'm putting up weekly look like. So I shot a wedding last weekend with Tara and Adam, and we were at Poplar Creek Barn in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and they have a sunflower field. Now, when I say sunflower field, it's not a giant field. It was probably 50 feet by 75 feet deep. Now, I wanted to take a photo in this because I know how popular sunflowers are in sunflower fields. So I wanted to take a picture in this of them, but I wanted it to make it look like it was huge. So I want to walk you through the steps that I did to get the photo that I took. I shot it with an 85mm 1.8 on my Sony a7 III. Other technical specs is I used a newer 48-inch Octobox on my Godox or Godox AD600, and we shot this at just about sunset. Now I'm showing you 360 behind the scenes footage, 360 camera footage off my GoPro Fusion, which was mounted on top of my camera on top of the trigger, so it looks a little awkward. And we're also shooting directly into sunlight, so it's kind of hard to see the subject, but I just wanted to show you kind of my behind the scenes setup of what it looks like, and then we'll get in and I'll show you editing. So let's get right into it right now. That's all the talking I'm going to do for right now, and we're just going to watch this video. I'm using the GoPro VR application software to watch this, so let's just kind of watch. I'll kind of chat a little bit on what I'm doing, and we'll go from there.
Might even be from the mosquitoes.
There was tons of mosquitoes. So this is Crystal over here to my left.
Take a step this way,
She's holding the newer up in the air.
There we go. Stay right like you are. Come over on this side now.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one, you're gonna hold on to her because she's really gonna laugh at you, like kind of fall back laughing. Like, this guy's a fool.
Twins.
Oh,
I noticed this lagged both times I played this right here. I don't know why.
There you go. Make a joke.
All right, we're gonna do one more with a kiss here. Just a nice kiss, like.
There you go.
And that's where I got the winning shot, the shot that I used.
You can get out of there.
And that's the entire session right there. That was it was about 2 minutes long, actually 1:12. We were there maybe 10 minutes tops. Once I got my settings down, my lighting down, we were already 6 hours into the photo session. So it wasn't super difficult to get them where I wanted them to be, because I'd already been working with them throughout the entire day. We've done the engagement session. But I just wanted to touch on that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get over into Lightroom and we're going to go into Photoshop, and I'm going to show you how I edit those. So let me get those fired up and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're in Lightroom now. I have the picture. Let's go back to the stock picture. So here's the straight out of camera photo, and we're going to get into editing it. I'm going to show you kind of how I touched up this photo. I'm not going to go into full touch-ups like I did with the other one, where it took me like literally an hour to touch up all the, getting rid of all the bees and the mosquitoes and all of that. But we're just going to quickly touch this photo up, and I'm going to show you how to color correct it and just make this really pop. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, I see that there is a big mosquito right there, so we're going to get rid of that big mosquito here. I'm using my Wacom Pro drawing tablet to do this. Other than that, I don't see anything too insane. Maybe this little guy down here. There's another dude right here. I could also do this in the Photoshop later when I go into Photoshop too. But let's just kind of touch it up here. There we go. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the shadows a little bit. And I'm going to bring down the highlights. That way I can get some of this background in here. And we're going to bring down the whites quite a bit too. And let's go down to the haze. This is where you're going to bring in some of that that glow. But then you got to counter it with the exposure. That's about where I want to take that. We can drop the texture down a little bit. We could drop it a lot if we wanted to really make the skin tones disappear, but we're going to go right about there. We'll go down here. Maybe change the vibrance a little bit, but we're going to do most of that down here in the color selection. Gonna add lens correction on it. I lied to you. I was shooting with the 16-35 in this shot, so I apologize. All right, so here's where we're gonna really start tweaking this photo. As you can see, it already looks worlds apart from what it already did. And you could honestly stop right here, but I'm just gonna kind of touch it up just a little bit more. So the reds are a little harsh in their faces, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just drop this saturation down just a little bit. I mean, if I went all the way down, I could turn them into zombies, but I don't wanna do that. And then we're gonna go to the orange, and we're gonna see what the orange does, where it plays. So we'll leave the orange where it's supposed to be. Yellow, we're going to drop the yellows down. And you really give this a punch, and we're gonna bring the saturation up on the yellows. And bring the vibrance up on the yellows. Greens. So greens are really what I want to play with, and that's really what I messed with in this photo. And I will show you both ways that I did it. So I did some in here, and then I did the rest in Photoshop. So we're going to go way up here with the green into the blue, and we're going to do it with the aqua as well. We're going to take this towards the blue. Other than that, I wouldn't change too much on this photo. I think it looks already, it's printable right here. I can show you the straight out of camera here and the edited version. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take it one step further. We're going to take it into Photoshop, and we're going to edit a few more steps, get it a little bit more creative from a Josh Russell perspective. And this is literally, you could print this right here and you'd be good to go, but I'm going to take it a little bit further. So we'll wait for Photoshop to open, and Photoshop is up and ready to go. Let me just resize my Photoshop here. There we go. All right, so Photoshop is open. We're going to create a new layer right away, and we're going to get rid of some of these blemishes on their faces here. There's also a mosquito right there. Look at that little guy. So you're just going to take the heel brush, which is the Band-Aid looking guy, go around, see if there's any like major blemishes you want to touch up. Sometimes I get rid of freckles, unless it's like a, you know, an actual definitive mark that tells them who they are. I usually just try to get rid of it. So we're just going around, we're coloring on all the imperfections. So there's a little spot here, there's a bug right there, there's a freckle in there, there's a bug right there. And as you can see, there's a little guy right there. I could really touch this up later too. I just wanted to really hit the major ones, and I noticed there's a couple, I remember when I was doing this edit, there's a couple on these little leaves that could kind of just be painted on. And there you have the almost finished product. But now what we're going to do is we're going to want to go in here. We're going to want to create a new layer, because I never like to touch previous layers. And we're going to go into color balance. We're going to go here and we're going, nope, sorry, not color balance. Where's selective color? Selective color, that's what I meant. Get rid of this one. Selective color. We're going to drop down and we're going to go to greens. This is where I'm going to just really start messing with the greens in this photo. So if I want to take the magenta up, I could drop the yellow down. And as you can see, what this is doing is it's changing all this green, and there's so much green in this photo that it just really works really well. Like, I mean, I could drop this down, and I think this is the direction I went with it. So I don't think I went that way. I think I went this way. Bring a little bit of, and we're going to go to the yellows, and we're going to give this some punch too. Let's go this way with it. It's too much. And there, that's your finished photo. Let's Command S this, and let's go see how close we are to the original that I made. So with the original, I softened it a little bit, but I mean, you can see that I got pretty close to where I was going with that. And there's a final product for you right there. It was pretty simple, pretty easy to do. The last step that I did with my other one here is I just kind of softened the blacks a little bit. But I'm going to show you here we'll reset this one. And we'll bring it up in here and I will show you the difference in the two. So there's the final product. Original's on the left and the end product is on the right. That's the Josh Russell style on what I do to that photo. Once again, if this helped you, please remember that I do these on my Patreon page at least once a week, where I'm teaching how I edit photos and how I get the colors that I get, how I use my presets, and I'm also giving away all sorts of good stuff every month on there. This month I'm giving away a Wacom drawing tablet, just like the one I use. It's a little bit smaller. I'm giving the more space efficient one, so it doesn't take up your entire desk like mine does. But I'm giving that away. Next month I'm giving some Bluetooth speakers away, and then the sky's the limit. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but when I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away something really awesome. When I hit 500 subscribers, I'm giving away a full frame digital Sony mirrorless camera. So make sure you go over. Link is in the description down below. It's patreon.com/I am Josh Russell. And just for the cost of basically buying me dinner once a month, you get access to everything that I know. So I want to thank you guys again for watching this video. I will talk to you in the next one. And until then, have a great day. Peace.